let us understand how to solve a case, or what are the action points that are required in a case study. In fact, a lot of B schools today give case studies. Because they check your analytical ability to understand the situation well and respond to it. First important step in a case study is we understand the key facts. Some other important points, you can underline them, that what are the important facts in a case. Second point is we have to understand the context. See, the context is very important in any case. Let us understand a technique which we use to solve cases. We call it a PACER technique. It's an acronym where P stands for problem definition. In fact, in a case, a lot of people confuse problem with the symptoms. For example, if somebody has a fever, so the problem is not the fever. The problem is something in the body which has gone wrong is causing a fever. So in a case, we have to understand problem well. Once you understand the problem well, the next step is alternatives. So we call it an idea generation stage. When you talk about alternatives, you go wide. Things which can be implemented, which cannot be implemented, but generate ideas. So once you have generated alternatives, the third stage is we call it a criteria for evaluation. Now there are certain things which you put in place before you decide how many of these alternatives are viable or feasible. So criteria are like it's a public sector company, so we have different criteria. Then comes the E, which is the evaluation. So once we have generated ideas and we have criteria for evaluation, using these two things we find or we filter down certain evaluation of criteria. So certain criteria are used to evaluate these alternatives which are generated. So once we have 2 or 3, let us say we have generated 10 ideas, out of which we have filtered 2 or 3. And then on basis of these 2 or 3 alternatives, we suggest all of them or one, or depending upon this thing. But remember that whenever we are giving recommendations, we always give them, because there are soft solutions, because most of the cases are related to human beings. So there are soft solutions. So every recommendation has certain pros and cons. So it cannot be a perfect solution. So that is how we take care of the case study through the PACER technique.